Hi, this is Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. I am creating this look for you today and it's using the Butter Me Up ColourPop palette. So this palette actually released exclusively to Ulta Cosmetics, and it came out about right around Black Friday, I believe, and you can pick it up in stores now. It is available in the Ulta stores and on the Ulta website. Now it may come to ColourPop, it may not, but this palette does retail for $18, and there are two sister palettes to this little butterfly collection, and so I decided to pick up this palette Butter Me Up, and it looks something like this, and the color scheme is very beautiful, mauve with a little hint of black and kind of vampy. So I was really actually interested in this particular color scheme, so I said, okay, if I could find it in an Ulta store, I will pick it up. If I can't find it, I'm not going to worry about it. ColourPop, as you know, they come out with releases so often, so it's just so hard to keep up. So I saw this palette, like I said, I was like, okay, if I find it, I'll get it, but I'm not going to put a whole lot of effort into it, okay? So overall, I do like the look I came up with. So, you know, I'm going to get into some swatches and create this look for you and then talk about the palette on the other end. So let's go ahead and jump into a few product details regarding the palette. Like I said before, the palette retails for $18. Now, this is a 12-pan palette, and there are two pressed glitters in this palette, okay? So one pressed glitter I'm okay with. That is the smaller one right here. This is called Overpacked. But then we have this shade Island Hopping. And Island Hopping is definitely one of those glitters that are more basically like their body glitters or their glitterly obsessed things that you could put in the pots and, you know, you put all over your face or your body. So I'm not sure why they're putting these particular glitters in their palettes, but I wish they would stop. I mean, quite honestly. So within this 12-pan palette, you do have, they're saying that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades are not intended for the eye use, so if you should keep that in mind. That shade is Fleet, and Fleet because probably is a more red shade, and you know it's more of a pigment shade. And then you have Silk Street, and probably because of the pigmentation right there, it can cause some eye staining. And then of course the shade Overpacked because it's a glitter, Island Hopping because it's a glitter. We just talked about that. Then down below we have the shade Reckless, which is right here, and probably because of the pigment. If you're interested in the net weight of the palette, it is for the 10 shades that are actually eyeshadow, it's 0.9 grams, so it's 0.03 ounces. And then for the pressed glitters, which are two of them, they're 0.9 grams or 0.3 ounces, okay? And then of course, ColourPop is made in the United States and is out of Santa Monica, California. And the whole packaging is made in the United States as well, and it's recyclable. So overall, I think the packaging is super cute. The palette feels lightweight but sturdy, and it's just like a typical ColourPop palette if you have purchased from ColourPop at this point. First up, we have the big three. And this shade actually has some type of little dual chrome purpley action in here, and with like a shift of green. It's actually like lavender greenish. Next up, we have Fleet, and Fleet was one of the shades. Okay, actually, I did my fingers out of order. So next up, we have Silk Street, and that is also a shade that cannot be used, or it says it's not intended for the eye use, and it's this beautiful plum color. And then we have the shade Fleet, which is this beautiful reddy pink shade. And if you know me, this is what drew me to the palette. And then we have Overpacked, which is a pressed glitter that is not intended for the eye use, of course. But it is very, very pretty. And I'm going to go ahead and swatch a little bit more of that shade. Next up, we have Stay Golden. And this is a beautiful matte, kind of red terracotta shade. Then we have Island Hopping, which is another of those pressed glitters. And this is the more chunky formulation. And then we have On a Whimsy, which is this beautiful silver metallic. That is so pretty. And it's going to be beautiful during this season. If you're going to a holiday party, I mean, look at it. Look. Next up, we have the shade Paradiso, which is a beautiful foiled shade. Then we have Made to Last, and this shade is pretty much my skin color. And then we have Details, which is a beautiful brown shade, and it is what ColourPop calls their sequin formula, so that is the matte with the glitter in it. And for the last two shades, we have the shade Nitrene, which is another sequin formula, so it's a black with glitter in it. And then we have the shade Reckless, which is also said is not intended for eye use. And this is a beautiful, like, deep brown aubergine color. And here are the swatches. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I have my very dirty weighing number 16 brush. I wish I was at the phase where I can like just have different brushes for every look, or you know, every time I come on camera, but my brush game is not that strong yet. So I'm gonna go in with this shade. It is called Made to Last right here. And it's just a really caramel color. I'm not even expecting like a whole lot by putting this down, but it will help our other shades blend in. Yeah, like I said, it just gives us a little wash of color. Nothing. Yeah, the shade is like nothing to write home about. I picked up my Sonia G Crease Pro, and I'm going to go in with the shade that's called Stay Golden. It's this shade right here. It's kind of like a reddy terracotta orange, burnt orange, brown shade. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to throw that in the crease and kind of up above where we had that first shade. The names are kind of hard to see on this palette because they're written in silver. So I'm just blending that back and forth. Ooh, that is actually a really pretty shade when it builds up. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to feather this out. Have no idea where I'm going with this look. ColourPop has come out with so much stuff recently. I haven't bought anything from ColourPop since the Smoke, is it Smoke Session? What is it? No, that's Melt. Okay, you know, the smoky palette, the blacks and that 9-pan palette. So literally, it's just been so much coming out. They've had like the Butterfly, they've had Bye Bye Birdie, they've had other little 9-pan palettes, and then now they have like a 3-part of this collection. So this one just kind of caught my eye, and I was able to pick it up in Sephora. In Ulta. So I was like, okay, because I think this one is actually not on the ColourPop website. Okay, now I'm just gonna kind of, no additional product, just kind of thin out the edges right there. This is actually a really pretty color. I don't know if I have anything like that in a matte. I probably do. I'm probably lying, but you know, whatever. It's not the point, guys. I have my number 17 Wayne Goss brush. I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Silk Street, which is this purple shade right here. And I'm going to apply this in the crease as well, but I'm going to bring this shade down a little bit. And first, I'm just going to kind of pat it in. So I like to do this so I can get the pigmentation, but sometimes I tend to take my colors a little bit too high. So this is like a method that helps me just get the color placement down, get the pigmentation down, and not take over the look with the other colors. And you can also use like smaller brushes, but I just really wanted this color to be like a little bit deeper. And then now I'm gonna go switch back with that this Crease Pro by Sonia G. Pick up a tiny bit more of that color Stay Golden, which is this one right here, this matte shade. It's really pretty. And then kind of trace on that outline. So this crease, it's bold, okay? And if you see a little bit of glitter, I think some of the glitter from Overpacked, this one has kind of crossed over to this shade. So it's just going to be stuck there because I can't move it at this point. And I'm just going to kind of lightly feather this out on the side. So now I have picked up my Rephr 02 brush, and I'm going to go in with the shade Nitrene. This is Nitrene right here. And this is what they call a sequin formula, or what I like to call those mattes that have glitter particles in it that drive me crazy. And I'm just going to pick up a tiny bit and place it down at the center, down at the center, down at the bottom of my eyelid, and work it up into this little area right here, and just to create a little bit more depth. And supposedly what I've learned when I was watching that girl Shay do her live swatches, like you're supposed to put it on, then you're supposed to like put your finger and tap it on, and that way the glitter particles will show up. But I'm just like, yeah, I ain't got time for that. And then a lot of times, sometimes in these ColourPop palettes, there are just so many shades where you kind of need these little sequence formula shades to be a transition shade, because those are the only mattes that are available. Now I'm going to go back in with that Wayne 17 brush and lightly diffuse that black shade, which is called Nitrene, out. And see, as you see, I don't know if you see, like the glitter particles are starting to move in. That's the only thing. It's just like, ugh, when it comes to these palettes. Otherwise, you know, I'm here for them. Now I'm going to pick up the shade Paradiso. I have my Builder Pro by Sonia G. And I'm going to press that right here. Oh, that shade picks up very nice, very smooth. What we've loved to come to expect from ColourPop and their shimmers. This is not wet. Ooh. And I'm going to place it on the inner corner too. And we're going to kind of have like a little spotlight eye. And then we're going to bridge it up into the crease, just leaving a little space open. And I'm just turning the brush on the side to just kind of get my shape going with my metallics. Now I've wiped my little Sonia G Builder Pro brush off. I'm going in with the shade Fleet. And you know I had to use this. This is like one of the shades that made me buy the palette. And the shade that I just put on before. Ooh, it's like a pinky red. And it's not a strong spotlight eye, but it's just kind of, you know, giving illusion. So I didn't want it to be like super stark, but I like how these colors just blend together. This is really pretty. Like I have a lot of red shades, and I have a lot of shades like this Paradiso shade, but none quite in that same tone. So, and this shade is not wet either. This is pretty. Now let's make sure our blending is all smooth, going in with Sonia G Blender Pro. Just going to fuse out all my little harsh edges that we have. And these shadows look super smooth together. And I have my Sonia G pencil brush, and we're gonna go in with the big 3 right here. And I'm just gonna, ooh, pop that in the inner corner. That is pretty. Wow. And I'm using self-restraint and not keeping it up a little bit more. Just keeping it strictly in the inner corner. Okay, so I'm gonna do my lashes, the rest of my face. We'll put my lashes on, eyeliner, you know, all that, and the rest of my face, and we'll come out and talk about it. Okay, I am back, and this is the final look. I hope you guys love it. I think it came out really beautiful. Overall, the shades were very beautiful, and I didn't have any problem with performance. It's like basically any other standard ColourPop palette at this time. So like my other makeup details that I have on, I will list them down below in the description box. So let's go ahead and jump into the palette. So you know, usually I've been doing a lot of one palette 3 looks on my channel, and that way I can play with all the shades in the palette. But at this point, I just have time to do one look, so I hope you guys are okay with that. But the shades that I did use, I used quite a few of the shades, especially the ones that interest me. I really did find great performance out of them. So I think with this palette, you have a wide variety of mattes and shimmers to kind of create different looks with this palette. Now, this is a little bit more bold, stand out. So I think it's a daytime appropriate palette depending on your makeup aesthetic, or, you know, maybe something just for really going out. Now, I use, let's see, I use 1, 2, 3, 4, well, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I use 7 shades out of the 12, so that's not bad. That's a little bit more than 50%. Now, the shades that stuck out to me, of course, were the shade Paradiso right here, the shade Fleet, and honestly, these 2 shades right here probably made me buy the palette, and actually this particular shade on a whimsy. It's a silver. I'm not sure why. I think like the Fun Pop is silver just really kind of set the palette off for me and provided a little something different for the color scheme. And then the red mixed with the purple, and then you have this black, and you do have a couple rich browns that you could do a lot with. Now there are 2 glitters in the palette. You have Overpacked. Overpacked is that fine pressed glitter, and I'm usually okay with those particular glitters because glitters are not actually anything that's eye safe. We've been putting glitter on our eyes forever, and now all of a sudden on YouTube, everybody's like, it's not eye safe. None of the glitters are, but it's okay. Like when we have the Stila Glitter and Glow, and we have all these other shadows. But the problem I have is when they put these little obnoxious body glitters in the palette. Like, why? That was just so uncalled for. We could have had maybe a different type of purple in the palette, like maybe something like this in that palette instead of this particular shade, or maybe another white whimsical type of duochrome. Maybe it was duochrome purple, just to set the palette off. But this shade Island Hopping, like, I am not putting that on my eye. I did try putting one of these glitters on my eye. Was it the yellow palette, the yellow monochromatic palette that ColourPop have, or even the orange one? And it just did not look good on my eyes, okay? It's pretty, but it did not look good. It did not do my eyes any type of favor. Now, this particular glitter is like this, as Finally Male have shown up in the palettes like, what was it? The Yes Please? No, not Yes Please. I can't remember any of the palettes. I'm like, they come out with so much stuff. What was it? The one with the coral, with the newspaper thing. I have it back here, but you guys know what I'm talking about. You definitely know. So, but overall, I think the color scheme is really pretty. I mean, ColourPop, you know, their quality is impeccable. I haven't really tried anything from ColourPop where I'm like, no. So I really would recommend this palette if you are like this color scheme and don't maybe have a lot. I have a lot of palettes in this color scheme, but I do feel like this still offers something different to that purple mauve fuchsia color palettes that I do have. So overall, I do like it, and I think the shadows perform beautifully. Now, like I said, there are still 2 particular mattes in here, Details and Nitrene, that have the sequin formula that ColourPop calls it, with aka mattes with freaking glitter in it that I love so much. Kidding, I don't love so much. But overall, you do have other mattes to use, where some other palettes is like, my only matte to use is the mattes with the glitter in it, and it can be a little annoying. So for me, that it's not such a big turn off. When I just pressed that black into the corner, the glitter didn't travel too far, but I kind of kept the black more compact in my look. So that's just something to think about. But if you have a chance and you see this in your local Ulta store, I would think you should pick it up. You know, it may come in ColourPop, it may not, I'm not sure. ColourPop has been releasing so much. Like I said, I can't keep up. It's too much, okay? So let me know how you guys enjoyed this look. Let me know down below, are you interested in any of the palettes out of this collection? Remember, there are 2 more. There's one more bronzy, and there's another one that's more maybe lavenderish, but this is the one that really popped to me. So let me know down below in the comments what you guys think. Give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, because you know I would love to have you here. And you know, when you come to part of the family, we can chair dance together. So you already know what time it is. I gotta hit you with the chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. Okay, y'all. Bye.